There's a pattern some minds follow that looks like instability from the outside, but feels like necessity from within. You build something substantial, a career, an identity, a way of being in the world, and you build it well, not halfway, not as experiment. You go deep, you develop real expertise, create genuine structures, achieve what others would call success. And then, after a few years, something shifts. Not failure, not external circumstances forcing change. An internal restlessness that won't be reasoned with, won't be managed, won't let you stay. So you leave. You walk away from what you built, and you do it again. Different domain, same pattern. 3 years here, 5 years there, sometimes 7 if you push through the restlessness, but eventually you always leave. The ambitious entrepreneur becomes the artist, becomes the academic, becomes something else entirely. Each time complete, each time genuinely inhabited, each time ultimately abandoned. This pattern appears most commonly in what Carl Jung called introverted intuitives, minds oriented toward the inner world of meanings and patterns rather than the outer world of concrete facts. In Jung's classical framework, this describes INFJ and INTJ specifically, those whose dominant function is introverted intuition, but the pattern also appears in INFP and INTP, who lead with introverted feeling or thinking while using extroverted intuition as their auxiliary function. All 4 share the essential architecture. They're introverts who process reality through intuitive depth rather than concrete immediacy. This is why I call them deep intuitives. They're wired to see beneath the surface, and staying on the surface feels like suffocation. You cannot help but see the patterns beneath what others take at face value. And once you've seen the pattern, once you've understood the architecture, the form itself loses its grip on you. People around you notice. They have theories. You're afraid of commitment. You're running from something. You can't handle success. You're talented but unstable. They measure your life by permanence, how long you stay, how high you build, whether you die where you started. By those metrics, you're failing. By those metrics, something is wrong with you. But they're measuring the wrong thing. They think you're trying to build a castle that keeps collapsing. You're not. You're doing something else entirely. And until you understand what that something is, you'll keep asking their question, what's wrong with me? This podcast examines 2 levels of psychological architecture. The first is the pattern everyone sees, the cycles of building and leaving that characterize how certain minds move through life. The second is what lies beneath those cycles, a deeper structure that eventually demands its own transformation, usually around midlife, in ways that make the earlier pattern look like preparation rather than destination. If you recognize yourself in the first pattern, you need to understand both levels. Because the short cycles, the 3-year, 5-year identity shifts, aren't the crisis. They're methodology. The real crisis comes later, runs deeper, and requires something your pattern recognition cannot provide: the capacity to stop recognizing patterns and start living in the formless space beneath them. If you've seen my recent video on my YouTube channel Wisdom and Happiness on this topic, you already understand the short cycles, the castle-building pattern and what it means. Here, we're going deeper, into the Jungian psychology beneath the pattern, the midlife crisis that eventually comes, and what individuation actually requires when pattern recognition itself must dissolve. Video link in the description. Part 1. The pattern of building and leaving. The mechanism. The cycle begins with genuine engagement. You don't dabble. You don't test waters. When you commit to something, a field, a project, an identity, you submerge yourself completely. You study its structures, master its language, develop real competence. Within a few years, you're often better at it than people who've been there longer because you bring intensity that looks like calling. And it is calling for a while. The work absorbs you. The problems engage your full capacity. The identity fits well enough that you can inhabit it without constant friction. You're good at this. Really good. People notice. Opportunities emerge. Success, by conventional metrics, arrives. Then something changes. Not dramatically, not as crisis or breakdown, just a quality shift in how the work feels. What once engaged you deeply starts to feel mechanical. The problems that fascinated you now seem repetitive. The identity that fit comfortably begins to chafe. You can still perform, you haven't lost competence, but the internal quality has changed from alive to automatic. This isn't boredom. Boredom is surface restlessness, easily solved by novelty. This is something structural, A sense that you've extracted what this particular domain had to teach you, that you've built what you came to build, learned what you came to learn, and now the structure itself, however successful, however admired, has become a container that's too small for what you're becoming. The feeling is specific, not that you've failed, but that you've completed something. The domain has yielded its insights. The identity has served its developmental purpose. Staying longer wouldn't deepen the wisdom. It would just be repetition, maintenance of a form whose purpose has been fulfilled. So you start to leave, sometimes quickly, sometimes gradually, but always with the same internal necessity. You're not running from failure. You're not chasing something better. You're responding to an internal imperative that others don't seem to feel. Once you've mastered something, once you've extracted its lessons, staying feels like dying. What you're actually doing. The people who build one castle and live there forever aren't wrong. They're wired for permanence, for depth through commitment, for the wisdom that comes from staying in one place long enough to see its full complexity. They measure life by what endures, by legacy, by the visible structures they leave behind. For them, mastery means going so deep into one thing that they see layers others never access. You're measuring something else. When you build and then leave, you're not abandoning what you built. You're completing a cycle of understanding. The castle wasn't meant to be permanent. It was meant to teach you what building that particular castle teaches. The identity wasn't meant to last forever. It was meant to show you what living in that form reveals. The expertise wasn't the destination. It was the vehicle for a particular kind of knowing that only comes through mastery followed by release. You're extracting wisdom, not from books or theory, but from lived experience at depth. You go deep into a domain not to stay there, but to understand what that depth contains. And once extracted, once genuinely learned, the structure has served its purpose. Staying longer wouldn't deepen the wisdom. It would just be repetition. This is why you can't explain it to castle dwellers. They experience permanence as depth and change as loss. You experience change as methodology and permanence as stagnation. They're not better than you. They're not more evolved. You're operating with different life logic, solving different problems, optimizing for different outcomes. When judged by their metrics, duration, legacy, single domain mastery, you'll always look unstable. But here's what matters. This pattern isn't random. It's not chaos or inability to commit. It's a specific way of learning that requires both intensity and release. You have to go deep enough to genuinely master something. Surface engagement won't teach you what you need to know. But you also have to leave before the mastery becomes identity trap, before you mistake the castle for yourself, before the security of competence prevents you from the next necessary growth. The gift and the cost. The gift of this pattern is mobility. You accumulate knowledge across domains. You see patterns that specialists miss because they've never left their domain. You understand how structures work at a level that transcends any particular structure. You're not trapped by sunk costs or identity investments. When something stops serving growth, you can leave. This creates a particular kind of wisdom, structural insight. You understand forms, systems, patterns at architectural level because you've built and dissolved enough of them to see what's essential versus what's contextual. You know what transfers across domains and what doesn't. You can enter new fields faster than people who've never left their first field because you've learned the meta skill of learning itself. The cost is legibility. Your life doesn't make sense to people who measure by permanence. You have no clear trajectory, no single expertise, no obvious legacy. Your resume looks scattered. Your identity feels unstable even to you sometimes. You accumulate competence but not credentials in the way institutions recognize. The deeper cost is loneliness. Most people build their one castle, and that's where you'll find them for life. They can't understand why you keep leaving. They experience your departures as rejection or failure. You lose community with each cycle because community forms around permanence, and you're not permanent anywhere. Maintaining relationships across cycles. The cycling creates specific relational friction. People form attachments to your current identity. They meet you as the entrepreneur, the artist, the academic. When you leave that identity, they experience it as abandonment, even when the relationship itself hasn't ended. They can't separate you from the castle you were building. You can't make castle dwellers understand this pattern. Save the full explanation for people who've proven they can hold complexity without judgment, the friends who've seen you through multiple cycles, the partners who've loved you through identity shifts, the rare individuals who recognize that your essence persists beneath the forms. Find others who cycle. Even one or two people who operate this way changes everything. They won't judge your departures, because they recognize the pattern in themselves. Accept that some relationships end with the identity. The colleagues from your corporate life, the artist friends from your creative phase, these relationships were real and mattered, but they were contextual. Grieve these losses without pathologizing them. The people who stay across cycles aren't attached to your external form. They're attached to you beneath the forms. Those connections require consistency of presence, not consistency of form. Navigation without pathology. If you're cycling through identities, do it consciously rather than reactively. The pattern itself isn't the problem. Unconscious cycling, where you're driven by restlessness you don't understand, leaving before you've completed the extraction, or staying long after the learning is done, that's the problem. Know your rhythm if you have one. Many pattern seers notice a natural cycle length. Pay attention to your history. When does the restlessness typically arrive? When do domains stop feeling alive? Once you know your rhythm, you can plan accordingly. You can choose commitments that align with your natural cycle rather than fighting it or pretending you're someone who stays indefinitely. Don't take on commitments that require longer than your natural cycle unless you're genuinely prepared for the friction of leaving mid-commitment. If you're starting a long-term project with partners, they deserve to know you might leave in 5 years once you've extracted what the collaboration teaches. Extract consciously. Be explicit with yourself about what you're learning. Journal the insights. Name the patterns you're recognizing. Track what the domain is teaching you. When you make the wisdom extraction visible to yourself, you'll know more clearly when the extraction is complete versus when you're leaving prematurely because you're uncomfortable. This is crucial. Leaving early looks like the same behavior as leaving at completion, but it's different psychologically. Leaving early is avoidance. Leaving at completion is methodology. You can only tell the difference by paying attention to whether you've extracted the wisdom or whether you're running from the challenge of extraction. The discomfort of not yet understanding feels different from the quiet knowing that understanding has been achieved. Learn to distinguish them. When it's time to leave, leave cleanly. Don't half leave while physically staying. Don't perform commitment you don't feel. Clean departures serve everyone better, even when they're painful. Rest between cycles. This might be the most important principle. The formless space between forms is where integration happens, where the wisdom you extracted settles into you at a level deeper than intellectual understanding, where you discover what remains when no castle is being built, which is you, the consciousness that moves through all the forms. Give yourself void space, weeks, sometimes months. Let yourself be undefined. Let yourself not know what's next. This is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. The pattern seers who never rest between cycles accumulate breadth without depth. They learn many things but integrate nothing. And critically, stop pathologizing the pattern. You're not commitment phobic. That diagnosis belongs to people who avoid commitment because they fear vulnerability. You don't avoid depth. You seek it. You're not afraid of success. You build genuine success and leave not from fear but from completion. You're not unstable. Your consciousness is more stable than people who cling to one identity because it's all they know. Your stability lies in the continuity of the pattern-seeing consciousness itself, not in the permanence of any particular form it inhabits. Stop letting castle dwellers diagnose you with disorders that describe their pathologies, not yours. But the deepest cost, the one you won't recognize until later, is this. You mistake the pattern for the work itself. You think the cycling through identities is the psychological development. You think the wisdom extraction is the depth. You think mastering non-attachment to structures means you've transcended structure. You haven't. You've gotten very good at a particular kind of ego functioning, sophisticated, mobile, capable of building and dissolving forms, but you're still operating from ego. And eventually, if you live long enough and dive deep enough, you'll hit something that the pattern can't navigate. Something that requires you to stop cycling and start confronting what you've been moving through all these structures to avoid. Part 2. What lies beneath the pattern? The short cycles can run for decades. Build, master, extract, leave, build again. The pattern feels like freedom, like growth, like you found a way to live that honors complexity and refuses stagnation. You think you've figured something out that castle dwellers haven't. You think the cycling itself is the wisdom. Then, usually in your late 30s or early 40s, sometimes earlier if you've been cycling particularly rapidly, something different happens. Not the familiar restlessness that signals it's time for a new castle, something that doesn't feel like another cycle beginning. It feels like cycling itself ending. You wake up one day and the meaning has drained out. Every castle you've built, every identity you've inhabited, every domain you've mastered, all of it suddenly feels empty, not failed, not wrong, empty, as if meaning itself leaked away overnight and you're left holding elaborate forms that once mattered intensely and now don't matter at all. The structures you built with such intensity now look like elaborate distractions. The wisdom you extracted feels hollow. The pattern itself, the building and leaving that felt like your methodology, your sophisticated way of growing, suddenly reveals itself as something else. Avoidance. Sophisticated, productive, accomplished avoidance. But avoidance nonetheless. This isn't another cycle beginning. You're not restless for the next domain. You're questioning whether domain cycling itself was ever the point. Whether all that motion, however productive, however growth-oriented, was actually growth, or whether it was a very elaborate way of staying in motion so you never had to stop and face what lies beneath the motion. The pattern itself has become the problem. And no new castle, no next identity, no further cycle will restore the meaning that's drained away. Something structural has shifted, and the architecture underneath the cycles is demanding its own transformation. Signs you're entering the deeper crisis. How do you know if you're in short-cycle territory or approaching this deeper work? The restlessness feels different. In the short cycles you feel, this castle is complete, time for the next one. There's direction, purpose, a sense that the next domain is calling. The restlessness has specificity. You're drawn towards something new. In the deeper crisis you feel, why any castle at all? There's no direction, no next calling, just emptiness. The question changes from what next to what for. Success feels hollow even when achieved. Pattern recognition itself starts feeling mechanical. You can still see structures, but seeing them no longer provides satisfaction. You're exhausted in a way that rest doesn't fix. The familiar rhythm of build, extract, leave has lost its meaning, and nothing new has appeared to replace it. If you're feeling the second type, if the pattern itself feels empty rather than just the current castle, you're likely entering the territory this section describes. The architecture of midlife crisis. Carl Jung understood human development as two distinct phases governed by fundamentally different psychological imperatives. The first half of life, birth to around 40, is ego construction. You build a self that can function in the world. You develop persona, the face you show to family and culture. You establish identity, learn skills, adapt to external demands. This isn't optional. Without functional ego and adaptive persona, you cannot survive psychologically or navigate social reality. For most people, this process is challenging enough. They build one coherent identity and spend decades establishing it, defending it, living through it. One career, one primary relationship, one relatively stable sense of who they are and what they're about. For those who cycle through identities, the first half of life looks different. You don't build one persona, you build many. You don't establish one identity, you cycle through several. By 40, where others have one stable self reinforced by decades of consistency, you've constructed and dissolved 5 or 6 complete identities, each fully inhabited, each eventually abandoned. You think this makes you psychologically advanced. You think the cycling itself was the developmental work. You think your capacity to move through forms without attachment means you've transcended ego identification. You're wrong. You're still in first half of life territory, still in ego construction, just doing it more elaborately than most. The mobility wasn't transcendence. It was a more sophisticated form of the same developmental work everyone else was doing with less movement. You were building ego, just building it laterally across domains rather than vertically in one domain. You were constructing persona, just constructing it serially rather than maintaining one throughout. The cycling made you versatile. It didn't make you free of ego. It made you good at ego construction in multiple contexts. The second half of life operates by different logic entirely. Around midlife, the psyche demands something ego construction cannot provide, no matter how elaborate or sophisticated. The structures that worked stop working. The identity cycling that felt like freedom starts feeling empty. The wisdom extraction that seemed like depth reveals itself as defense. And no amount of ego sophistication, no new identity, no next cycle will restore the meaning that's drained away. This is individuation, the process of becoming psychologically whole by confronting and integrating what was excluded during ego construction. Everything you pushed into shadow to maintain functional personas. Everything you exiled to create identities that worked. Everything you deemed too simple, too vulnerable, too ordinary for the sophisticated self you were constructing. All of it demands recognition now. The demand doesn't come as gentle invitation. It comes as crisis. The midlife crisis, properly understood, isn't about questioning your career or panicking about aging or buying inappropriate vehicles. It's the collapse of the psychological structures that organized the first half of life. The ego that you spent decades constructing, sophisticated, adaptive, capable of functioning across multiple domains, suddenly proves inadequate for the work the second half demands. What made you functional becomes the problem. What you thought was strength reveals itself as elaborate defense. And pattern recognition, your ability to see structures, understand complexity, extract wisdom, actively prevents you from doing what individuation requires. Stopping the analysis and actually confronting what lies beneath it. You can't recognize your way through this. You can't extract wisdom from a crisis that's specifically about the limits of wisdom extraction. You have to live it, which is precisely what your pattern has been helping you avoid. Why this hits deep intuitives differently. Someone who built one castle and lived there 40 years questions, is this all there is? Did I choose right? They're questioning the single structure. For you, it's different. You built many structures. You walked multiple paths. You already know that switching paths doesn't solve the existential question. The crisis isn't about which castle to build. It's recognizing that all the castle building was surface movement compared to what you've been avoiding. You've avoided the confrontation with your psyche's actual depths. You thought pattern recognition was depth. You thought wisdom extraction was the work. You thought building and leaving structures meant you weren't trapped by structure, but you never went underneath structure itself. You were always in motion, sophisticated motion, but motion nonetheless. Your specific trap, your primary adaptation is pattern recognition itself. It served you well in the first half of life, but individuation doesn't require more pattern recognition. It requires you to stop recognizing patterns and be with the formless reality beneath them. Your tool doesn't just fail here, it's the obstacle. You can't think through individuation. You can't recognize its pattern and transcend it. Shadow and the simple wound. In Jungian psychology, shadow refers to everything you excluded from conscious awareness to maintain ego function. For most people, shadow is straightforward. Anger they couldn't express, desires deemed unacceptable, qualities judged as bad, the socially inappropriate impulses, the rage at parents, the sexual desires that didn't fit the good person image. Shadow work for most people means confronting relatively obvious material they've been repressing. Your shadow is different. Not dramatic material like hidden rage or suppressed sexuality, though those may be present. Your shadow is usually something simpler, and when finally confronted, more devastating. The ordinary human needs you exiled because they didn't fit the identity of someone who operates at depths others can't access. The need to be held without understanding why. The desire to be cared for without earning it through insight. The exhaustion of always being the one who sees patterns, who understands complexity, who has to extract wisdom from everything. The part of you that wants simplicity, not depth, ordinariness, not specialness, rest, not constant growth and development. You exiled these needs early, probably in childhood, though you don't remember making the decision. Maybe you learned explicitly that your value lay in being perceptive. Maybe understanding things others couldn't became the way you mattered in your family. Maybe you discovered that insight was rewarded while ordinary needs, to be held, to be cared for, to just exist without performing wisdom, were dismissed, ignored, or subtly shamed as weakness. Whatever the specific developmental story, you learn to organize your identity around your intelligence, around your pattern seeing, around your capacity to understand depths. And in doing so, you pushed simple human vulnerability to the edges of consciousness. The child who just wanted to be loved without having to earn it through exceptional perception. The person who wanted to matter without being special. The ordinary needs that everyone has but you decided, or learned to decide, were beneath someone capable of seeing what others miss. Then you spent decades building your life around not feeling those needs. Every identity you constructed was sophisticated, interesting, deep. Every domain you mastered was complex enough to justify your intelligence. Every cycle of building and leaving was framed as growth, wisdom-seeking, sophisticated refusal of stagnation. And all of it, genuinely accomplished, really achieved, truly wise in many ways, was also defense against the simple wound. You're not sure you're lovable without being exceptional. That's the wound beneath all the wisdom, beneath all the castles, beneath all the cycling. You're not sure you matter if you're not special, and you're terrified to find out, so you keep being special. Keep seeing patterns, keep extracting wisdom, keep building and leaving and building again. Keep proving through constant growth and constant insight that you're valuable enough to deserve love, care, mattering. Individuation requires confronting this wound directly, not understanding it. You probably already understand it intellectually, confronting it, which means feeling the need without immediately spiritualizing it into growth, wanting to be held without turning that want into psychological insight, being ordinary without defending ordinariness as secretly profound, just being vulnerable, needy, simple, human, without the sophisticated consciousness performing commentary on the vulnerability. The dark night. Individuation, when it genuinely begins, often includes a phase mystics call the dark night of the soul. This isn't metaphor. It's not poetic language for depression, though from outside it can look similar. It's a specific psychological state that occurs during individuation, the void between who you were and who you're becoming, the space where ego structures have dissolved, but nothing new has emerged yet. You're suspended between identities, not the familiar suspension between cycles where you're resting before building something new. That suspension has purpose. It's preparation for the next form. This is different. The entire mechanism of building and leaving has lost its meaning. You can't go back to who you were. Those structures are dead. The pattern doesn't work anymore. Returning would be psychological death. But you also can't move forward because you don't know what comes next. The old map doesn't work and no new map has appeared. You're in pure void. For deep intuitives, this is particularly excruciating. You're practiced at recognizing structures, skilled at seeing forms, expert at understanding complexity. Your whole life has been organized around the capacity to see patterns that others miss, to extract wisdom from experience, to understand the architecture beneath appearances. And the dark night offers nothing to recognize. No pattern to see, no structure to understand, no wisdom to extract. Just formless meaninglessness that you have to live in until something shifts that you cannot force or predict or understand your way toward. Your every instinct is to understand it, to map it, to extract its lessons so you can move through it efficiently. You read about the dark night, Jung, St. John of the Cross, contemporary teachers, and think reading will help you navigate it faster. You recognize it as a necessary phase and assume recognition will let you skip ahead to integration. The way pattern recognition has always let you move through domains faster than others. But that's the wisdom extraction habit trying to survive by doing what it's always done, turning experience into understanding, turning lived reality into extracted insight. And it doesn't work. The dark night doesn't have a lesson you can extract. It doesn't have a pattern you can recognize and thereby transcend. It's specifically designed, if we can use that word for something that emerges organically from psyche, to break your reliance on understanding as the primary way you navigate reality. You can't think through the dark night, you can only endure it, and the endurance teaches something that thinking never could, that you're not in control of this process. That understanding doesn't save you, that all your sophisticated pattern recognition is just another structure, and that structure had to dissolve before something more fundamental could emerge. That wisdom can be defense, that depth can be avoidance, that all your elaborate consciousness development was still ego functioning, however refined. How long does this last? There's no clean timeline. For some, months. For others, years. The duration isn't determined by effort or intelligence or how well you understand the process. It's determined by how long it takes for the old structures to fully dissolve and, crucially, for you to stop trying to rebuild them through insight. Deep intuitives typically extend the dark night unnecessarily because they cannot tolerate not understanding. Every attempt to understand extends the void because the void's purpose is precisely to break that habit. The only way through is through. Not understanding through, living through. Sitting with meaninglessness without immediately trying to create new meaning. Being in the void without trying to fill it with the next castle, the next identity, the next sophisticated framework. Enduring not knowing until not knowing teaches you what knowing never could, that you don't need to understand everything. That presence matters more than insight. That being is prior to understanding. That you exist before and beneath all the forms, all the wisdom, all the sophisticated pattern recognition you thought was you. What integration actually requires. Eventually, if you stop fighting it, something begins to emerge from the void. Not as dramatic breakthrough, not as sudden insight, just a quiet shift in what feels real. The old identity structures don't return. The pattern of building and leaving doesn't resume its old meaning, but you're not stuck in meaninglessness anymore either. Something more fundamental than any identity you've built is becoming available to consciousness, not as concept, as lived reality. This is integration. Not of shadow content specifically, though that's part of it. Integration of the simple recognition that you exist before and beneath all the structures you've cycled through. That there's a you prior to being the one who understands patterns, or the one who extracts wisdom, or the one who builds and leaves. That you, the consciousness that moves through forms, is not any of the forms. It's not the entrepreneur or the artist or the academic. It's not even the deep intuitive who cycles through identities. It's what remains when all those forms dissolve. And discovering this isn't abstract philosophical realization. It's visceral recognition that changes how you inhabit your own existence. For you specifically, integration usually means confronting the simple needs you exiled, allowing yourself to want to be ordinary, to be cared for without earning it through insight, to exist without performing depth, to have needs that aren't sophisticated or interesting or justified by growth. This feels like defeat at first, like you're giving up what made you special. And you are, in a sense. The inflated identity built around being exceptional, that has to die. The pride in seeing patterns others miss, that has to be released. The need to extract wisdom from everything, to turn every experience into learning, that has to dissolve. What emerges is harder to describe because it's not an achievement. You don't become better or more evolved. You become more ordinarily human, less impressive, more real. The capacities remain: intelligence, perceptiveness, the ability to see patterns, but they're no longer organized into an identity that requires you to be exceptional. You can be smart sometimes without being the smart one. You can see patterns without making pattern seeing your identity. The capacities become tools you can use rather than armor you must defend. And that shift, subtle, not dramatic, is the difference between ego inflation and groundedness. So what does life actually look like after this shift? Not in theory, but in practice. The second half. If you do the work individuation demands, and you can avoid it, many people do, but the cost is living the second half of life as a hollow version of the first. The second half operates with different principles. You might still build things, you might still move through forms, but the quality changes entirely. In the first half, you built to extract wisdom, to master domains, to prove you were exceptional. Every castle served the ego project of becoming someone impressive. The building had an agenda, make you special. In the second half, if you build at all, you build because something wants to be built, not to prove anything about yourself. The motivation isn't ego-driven. You're not establishing identity or demonstrating competence. You're responding to what's actually asking to be done, which sometimes is building and sometimes is not building. The decision comes from presence responding to what's real, not ego proving itself. The relationship to achievement changes fundamentally. Success and failure lose their grip, not because you stop caring about craft. You might care more about doing things well precisely because the doing itself matters rather than what the achievement says about you. But success no longer confirms you're exceptional, and failure no longer threatens your worth. They're just outcomes carrying information, not definitions of your existence. The relationship to wisdom changes too. You don't stop seeing clearly or lose the capacity for pattern recognition, but you stop needing to be the one who sees clearly. Insight happens naturally rather than being constantly performed. Understanding emerges when it emerges, and when it doesn't, that's fine. You're no longer measuring your value by how much wisdom you can extract. Sometimes you have something to say and you say it. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you see patterns and share them. Sometimes you see patterns and let them be. Recognizing that not everything needs to be turned into insight or teaching. The constant extraction, the relentless turning of experience into wisdom that quiets. Not because you've stopped learning, but because learning is no longer the point. Being is the point. Most significantly, the restlessness that drove the short cycles often quiets. Not because you're stagnant. You can still move when genuine movement is called for, but you're not running anymore. You're not cycling through structures to avoid what lies underneath. You faced what lies underneath. You lived in the void it created. You discovered what remains when all the elaborate motion stops. And what remains wasn't what you feared. You feared that without being exceptional, you wouldn't matter. That without the sophisticated pattern recognition and constant growth and impressive breadth across domains, there'd be nothing valuable about you. That if you stopped being the one who understands depths others miss, you'd just be ordinary, and ordinary wouldn't be enough. What you discover is simpler and more devastating and more liberating than that fear. You exist, just as you are, ordinary and human and sometimes wise and sometimes not. And that existence, not special, not exceptional, just real, is what you were trying to construct through all those elaborate castles. You were building and leaving and building again, searching for something you thought was at the end of the next cycle, in the next domain, through the next identity. But it was underneath all the cycling all along, not at the destination, at the origin. You just had to stop moving long enough to notice it. Conclusion. The pattern of building and leaving, the short cycles that characterize how certain minds move through life, isn't pathology. It's methodology, a valid way of learning that requires both depth and release, intensity and mobility. If you operate this way, you're not broken. You're extracting a particular kind of wisdom that can only come through mastery followed by letting go. But the pattern isn't the destination, it's preparation. Underneath the short cycles lies a longer cycle, a deeper structure that eventually demands its own transformation. Usually around midlife, the psyche initiates a crisis that can't be resolved by starting a new cycle. The meaning drains from the pattern itself. The sophisticated mobility reveals itself as elaborate avoidance. What you've been avoiding is the confrontation with what lies beneath all the structures. Your actual self, prior to all the identities you've built and dissolved. The simple human vulnerability you exiled to maintain the appearance of exceptional depth. Individuation requires you to stop avoiding that confrontation, to stop building new castles and face what you've been moving through all those castles to avoid touching, to let the sophisticated identity structures dissolve and discover what remains when the dissolution is complete. The work is terrifying because it can't be understood into resolution. It has to be lived. And in the living, in the dark night, in the void, something shifts. Not dramatically, just as quiet recognition that you exist before and beneath all the forms. The second half of life, if you do this work, becomes simpler, more real, more present, more capable of being with what is without needing to turn it into wisdom or the next identity to master and release. You stop building castles, not because you've given up, but because you've discovered you were never the castle. You stop cycling through identities, not from exhaustion, but because you found what you were searching for through all that cycling. And what you found is almost disappointingly simple: yourself. Not the castles you built, not even the sea that constantly builds and dissolves, just the sea itself, sometimes still, sometimes moving, sometimes deep, sometimes at the surface, sometimes stormy, sometimes calm. The sea doesn't need to prove it's the sea through constant motion. It just is, in every state, complete. And the kicker, that simplicity you spent decades avoiding, that ordinariness you feared would mean you didn't matter, turns out to be what matters most, not because it's secretly profound, but because it's real. And real was what you were building all those castles to find. You just had to stop building long enough to notice it was there all along.